You know, sometimes how you start feeling like you are doing the same thing over and over and over again. Uh, this job can feel a little repetitive at times. Hi, this is Bill. This is Creative License, and thanks again for being a part of this little dog and pony show that I've been doing for so many years. And thank you so much again for being kind to the sponsors that help me keep this thing going, like DJ Event Planner, Disc Jockey News, Electro Voice, Promo Only, Perfect Portals, and of course my workshop, The Entertainment Experience. So how do you get out of that? That's a rut, right? You start feeling bored, or maybe you're worried about getting burned out because you just don't feel inspired. Well, what do you do about it? I'm going to touch on something that you already know, but I'm going to challenge you to step into it anyway, okay? Because we know it, but we don't always do it. When was the last time you did any reading? Really? Reading about, and start with things that you think you already know. Because there's a lot of things you can learn by seeing things from a different perspective, from a person's perspective that's given it a lot of thought. And if somebody's going to write it down in a book, more than likely they gave it more thought than you, because oftentimes we end up kind of doing what feels natural, right? So let me give you some examples. I'm just going to show you some of the books that I have. It's like you get bored with networking, you go into those networking groups. Well, here's a book by Joe Sweeney called Networking is a Contact Sport. This is a really good book on networking. If you want to really get excited about networking again, check out Networking is a Contact Sport. How about you want to learn more about improv? You think you're pretty good improvisational person, but you don't have time for a class? Well, the Upright Citizens Brigade wrote a great manual. It's a big read, and it's a lot of stuff in there, but their comedy improvisational manual is exciting and interesting. And if you are a fan of improv and you like learning about improv, you're going to love it anyway. But it certainly will help you look at things differently, and that inspiration is what you're going to get, because inspiration is what you're looking for to get yourself excited again. And another perspective, Matt Besser, Ian Roberts, Matt Walsh, they wrote that book. How about within our own industry? You think you know music. Music is boring me. I'm so bored by music. I mean, geez, I play the same thing over and over and over. How are you getting bored about music if you are in the music business? Well, how about you pick this tome up? Okay, Mike Walter wrote this great book on this day in music. It's not like you get this book and you think to yourself, well, I know about music. I know all the stories that come with music. Okay, find out, because you don't, okay? And if you really want to be inspired about the music you play again, get Mike's book. He writes so well even about things that we think we know about. You get done, read just one a day, and you get re-excited again. It's a great book, and it's a great inspiration. Have you thought about your performance? I'm an actor. So here's a book that I pull out on a regular basis called An Actor Prepares. This is a Bible for actors. It's written by Stanislavski. It's been around forever. It's a little difficult the first couple of times to read because Konstantin Stanislavski was Russian, and it's written in English and translated from Russian. But if you're an actor and you really want to understand an actor's process, and you want to start thinking of what you do now as from an artist's perspective as a performer, okay, that's a great book. How about showmanship? How about looking at showmanship from a perspective that's not a DJ, that's not an actor? How about magicians? Okay, this is a great book. Okay, Showmanship for Magicians by Dario Fitsky. Believe it or not, I think I'm a pretty good showman. Okay, and I read things in here that I thought I knew, that even when I read it, I went, oh yeah, I get that. But what it did for me is, because you start seeing showmanship from the perspective of a magician who really understands the showmanship of the reveal, come on. This will get you re-excited about the showmanship of what you do for a regular basis. Having problems with sales? Get a sales book. And if you're going to get a sales book, get one from a guy who right here in our own industry. Mitch Taylor wrote a really great book and has these really great workshops. Sales for Event Pros by Mitch Taylor. You can find online. There's lots of places you can find it. If you reach out on Mitch, I think it's mitchtaylor.com, or Mitch Taylor's not tough to find, okay? Just Google the man and get one of his books. This is a great book, and he does some great mentoring as well. And here's one that gave me a lot of inspiration. And you're gonna make a big joke about it, I know. But you're in the wedding business and you haven't looked up How to Be Romantic. And you see that? 1000 Ways to Be Romantic. Okay, it's not, it's not Tolstoy or nothing, but it will re-inspire you around how to be, feel, think romantic, especially if you're thinking about weddings. Now, these are just suggestions. These are books that I have in my own library. You can go into a library or a bookstore or Google Amazon for romance and how to be romantic. And you're going to find lots of places. Just because you think you know it doesn't mean you shouldn't read about it, because that's where inspiration comes from. That's what gets you excited about this again, so that you're not going, oh, not another wedding. Okay, there's lots of ways to get re-excited about what you do. This is one of them. And if you read a book and you keep reading and you read every day, it's just going to be better for your life anyway. What do you think of this? How many books have you read? Share some of the comments below of some of the things that have inspired you. I'm Bill. This is Creative License, and I will see you next week.